He made a run for 15-20 yards and the ball just dropped into the square and it just broke. And he had come an awful long distance and got a great flick and it popped up in front of him again and knocked it into the net, and he followed it himself. I thought he was going to go through the net after the ball going in.
I think it's just the goal he scored. He shouldn't have been in near the square, but he ran all of 45 yards. So it just probably shows the hunger and the intelligence of such a young player. And as the one man, I suppose you wanted to be on the end of a ball, and I don't know how he got in over the line, but I got in somehow. But that was really, I think that was really the drive at that time that said to us, look, drive on from here now. And as a team, we did.
It certainly gave them huge impetus and huge lift. But again, I thought, our response as regards battling on was very, very strong, and players really drove forward, and we still continue to take the game to Tipperary.
Will it be 5 in a row, that historic target? Or will Tipperary foil them this time, just as awfully foiled Kerry in football back in 1982? An intriguing next 20 minutes of sport on one of the big days in Irish sport. Kilkenny living dangerously at the back. Jackie Tyrrell advancing. Adventurously taken out eventually and slipped in here as far as John Tennyson. The Cats looking for scores. It's got to drop short. Out comes Brendan Cummins. Oh, the hand pass goes to TJ Reid. What was he doing? And it's gone over the bar. TJ Reid's got a point from play, just a third for Kilkenny in this match. He's got 2 of the points from play, but Brendan Cummins had time here. Hand passed it to a couple of players who are being well marked, and the initiative is swinging this way and that. 19 minutes into the second half, broken down. Kilkenny trying to pick up the initiative again in the middle of the field. Again, it's Jackie Tyrrell. 10 and a half minutes since Tipperary last scored. Tyrrell's going forward again, got a point in last year's match, on as far as Derek Ling, and it's gone over the bar. Well, he can be the catalyst in their revival. Derek Ling's first points since being introduced. That's missed by Noel McGrath. Still they battle. Picked up beautifully here. Neat play. Cross here as far as TJ Reid. Letting it fly and putting it sailing between the bars once again.
Even though Kilkenny were getting a couple of points, I still felt that we were going to be strong enough this time, mentally, I suppose, because that's what it came down to probably in the last 5 minutes, from our point of view, that could resist this mental pressure Kilkenny were putting on us, and I felt we'd enough in the tank to be able to do it.
When Seamie Cannon came on around the 65th minute, I'm not too sure now, we were only 3 points up, we were only 1 puck of a ball up, that was all it was. And Seamie came on he does what Seamie does best, he scored 2 great points.
Into Pádraig Maher, now as you say, at one of his best positions, I think, centre-half back. Played there in the league final last year against Kilkenny. That match went to extra time. Who knows how this one is going to go, as Seamus Callanan introduces himself by putting it over the bar. What an introduction. First touch, first shot, brilliant use of possession. Well, he's pumped up, the Tipperary fans are pumped up, and they've got a lead of 4 points here. Intervening there was Michael Cahill coming across, about to be challenged by TJ Reid. Slipped it out to Pádraig Maher for Tipperary, and Tipperary advance again, and it's up towards Seamus Callanan once again, looking for another score. What a point! What a superb score! 2 brilliant points by Seamus Callanan. That's absolutely superb play.
When I look back on the video after, I didn't realise it was only 3 points for Seamie came on. I couldn't believe it, because I said that we won by, was it 8 or... And I says, surely they were up more by that, but we weren't. So it just goes to show, as good as Tipperary played and the goals that we got, there was still only 3 points in it when Seamie Callanan came on.
Tipperary didn't presume, oh yeah, we have it now either. The final whistle is the only time that matters. And, in hurling, I kept thinking the whole time right up to the very end, if we could get a goal, and we had half chances again, We were in the game, and as long as we were only 3 or 4 points behind, I really felt that we still had a chance.
It kind of crosses your mind, saying that this is slipping away from you, and you're kind of saying, how are we going to come back from this? But you know, straight away you have to get rid of any negative thoughts that are in your head until the final whistle goes. You can never be beaten, and the day you give up before the final whistle goes, it's pretty much a day that you should think about maybe calling it a day, you know. And we fought tooth and nail to try and get back into the game, and you know, as I said, it was just one of those days. I don't think Tip were ever going to leave that lead go.
And David Young wins this one and battles to keep it away from Michael Fennelly. He slips it in there. Once again they hold the possession, and Benny Dunn sees it drop over the crossbar. What a difference 12 months can make to a team and to a player. This time last year he was sent off in the final. He's come on as a sub today, and with his first shot at the target, he's put it over the bar and put 5 points between them. Seamus Hennessy has a go again, and surely now there is no way that Liam Sheedy's Tipperary can be deprived of the Liam McCarthy Cup for 2010.
I must say I'd be great friends with Benny, and what Benny Dunn went through after 09 like was nobody's business, you know, from a strong hurling family to have the disappointment of that. And while it wasn't his fault we lost the game, everybody said that to him, everyone around us said that to him. He obviously felt being a hurling man, God, you know, it's I want another shot at this. So I must say when Benny came on and scored that point, I just thought, look, we're on our way here, you know, because the emotion of all that in the middle of that, for Benny to do what he did, you know, was just outstanding character.
When you're 4 or 5 points up against Kilkenny, you're still on your game because you're never safe. But I think for me, Benny Dunn's point and Seamus Hennessy scoring straight away after that, there was a small bit of, you know, I mean, it's going to be hard to catch us now because the fresh legs were on, and I think Laird in to get the finishing goal just really capped off. What a performance we had on that day.
Padraig Maher will be hoping to lead Tipperary's under-21s on Saturday next to another All-Ireland victory, boosted by this one here, as that ball is caught inside there by Padraig Maher, and it's swept in the end, and it's finished in the back of the net, and there is another one for Tipperary, and for Liam Sheedy, and Lord Corbett has got a hat-trick in the 73rd minute. This is how he finished it off. Maher played it to him, and Lord Corbett with 3 to make it 4-17 to 1-17, and it's a terrific day for the Premier County.
There was people nearly coming in. I mean, the sideline had gone a bit crazy at this stage, and I was thinking back, you know, there's still only 5 points in it, and it was only when Lars' goal went in and the net shook. I actually gave a hand signal. I think, yeah, we have it now. So that was nearly on the 72nd minute. So you just don't, you can't relax with it. It's against quality side like Kilkenny. You never get the feeling that, you know, you're over the line here and you're just waiting for the final whistle. But you know, when Lars shook the goals again for goal number 3 with time running out in the clock and giving us a 9-point, you just got the feeling, yes, we have our hands on it.
I remember the big high ball coming in, and I remember I think there was 2 or 3 lads went for Bonner Mayer, and he was on the ground, like, you know, and fair play to me, he spotted me just outside him, and he gave a good hand pass out, and I just remember just getting a touch on it and just letting it fly, like, you know, and thank God it went in. I didn't think it was going to win. I thought Noel Hickey was going to get a block on it, but lucky enough that he didn't, just went in past the goalie.
You know, I think it was the real nail in the coffin, really, kind of put an end to the day, and it really kind of put a nice end to Tipperary's day, you know, to be crowned All-Ireland champions. And I kind of thought to myself after the game, I didn't think it was clear cut as the scoreline said, you know, but at the end of the day there is a saying like the goals win games, and as I said, Tipperary got 4 on the day and like we only got 1, but it hit home once that ball went in, you know, that there was no coming back, you know, no getting back, and it was kind of the end of a dream, really.
I don't think at any stage, even when Larry scored the goal, that I can safely say we're going to win this, you know, because I just know Kilkenny too long. I've picked it out of the net too many times playing against Kilkenny in 2 or 3 minutes, even never mind to say 30 minutes, to think like that we had him, you know. No way. I think every little instant, like Benny's point, gave you confidence and gave you belief to repel what Kilkenny were going to throw at you. I think that's what it was doing. It was building blocks all the way. But I must say there was no stage until the final whistle blew. Actually, when I was told this is the last puck out, then I knew. Up until then, there is no way I was going to even think of looking at scoreboards or worried about it, because the prize is too great to blink. And I think that's what happened to us before. We blinked, and, you know, there's no way we could do that.
once again. It has proved to be a target too great for Kilkenny, as it was for Kerry back in 1982. Brian Cody, magnificent manager that he is, he has lost an All-Ireland final here in what was his 10th time to take a team to the final on the first Sunday in September. But it is the Tipperary fans and team and mentors who deserve to celebrate for a long, long time. Very few people rated their chances. It was all about the drive for 5, but they've been foiled, and Owen Kelly has led the Premier men from Tipperary to win the Liam McCarthy Cup and take the title for the 26th time.
It's a very, very special moment, you know. I guess Mick and Eamon and myself, you know, we probably get our fair share of criticism over the years, as all managers do, and, you know, everyone will tell you what you're doing wrong, but we were always focusing on the things we were doing right and trying to make sure we were always looking to find the next level, and, you know, through ourselves and the backroom team, and to get to share that moment with your players. And there's a real family feeling within that squad. It's been building over 3 years, so, you know, and there's loads of times that you get that family feeling and you don't actually get the cup at the end of the day. So to actually bring home the Liam McCarthy Cup after the disappointment of 2009, it was a really, really special day.
I remember the referee blowing the whistle. I remember first of all shaking hands with Noel Hickey, and I think second of all I went over to Jackie. I shook hands with him because I remember Jackie shaking hands with me. I think it was in 2009. I just said I'd only love to get back again and shake his hand, and hopefully that we'll be after winning that day.
My feeling was, you know, it's that's it. You know, we haven't won Tipperary, and you go ahead and you congratulate Tipperary, and you know the players are going to be disappointed. You know, it's going to be a massively disappointed dressing room, and that's the whole sort of All-Ireland weekend, you know, it takes on a different dimension. We have been very, very privileged to have a wonderful dimension to it for the previous 4 years.
Personally, it was just magic, like, you know, to be honest. I mean, I never thought I'd have that sensation again, and to have it and